folks, I'm Matt, and welcome to The Good Trouble Show. If you enjoy our content, the best way to support us is to subscribe, follow, like, and retweet. All of that good stuff really helps us out. So check this out with Senator Kirsten Gillibrand from the Disclosure Revolution with Osvaldo Franco.
Senator Gillibrand, I want to thank you on behalf of so many of my friends and colleagues for your UAP reform support. Yes. When I have some questions.
Yes.
When can we expect a public hearing regarding UFOs and UAPs, specifically with these reforms in place?
So what's this about? Senator Gillibrand wrote what was called the Gillibrand Amendment. This legislation mandated the Department of Defense establish a fully funded, fully staffed office to deal with the UAP, otherwise known as UFOs problem. Instead, the Pentagon has dragged its feet.
I'm supposed to get a report in the next, month or two.
Yes, ma'am.
They briefed our staff, but it wasn't very significant, not a lot of information.
So part of her legislation mandates the Pentagon provide regular classified and unclassified reports on the UAP problem. One is actually due out this October. I think it's October 31st. But anyway, unfortunately, from what she is saying, her staff's briefings by the Pentagon are less than stellar.
They're building the office right now, and they understand what the mission is. So I met the guy who's in charge of the office. He understands he's supposed to work in the private sector, and all the people who have all the data and information. He's also asked to go back and look at all of the archival data. He's not been able to get access to it. As you can imagine, it's probably siloed in all sorts of
Yes, ma'am, it is.
And so his job is to try to get access to all of it.
This new UAP office in the Pentagon is called AARO, or All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. It's another crazy Washington acronym. It's being run by Sean Kirkpatrick, the former chief scientist of the Defense Intelligence Agency's Missiles and Space Intelligence Center. Pretty big deal, right? So apparently this guy has been trying to get the Pentagon's archived data on UAP, and they are not coughing it up. She also talked about this data being siloed. So what does silo mean? What does siloing mean? So you can have a program that is classified as top secret, but designated as a SAP, a special access program, or USAP, or an unacknowledged special access program. So this means even if you have top secret clearance, you do not have access or visibility into that program. You don't even know that program exists unless the originators of that program have decided that you have a need to know, then you're read into it. It's also referred to as stovepiping. So anyway, so here you have the head of the Pentagon's new UAP program trying his best to do his job, and the brass at the Pentagon is hiding the historical data he needs. I wonder why.
And if you can't, I said just go forward. If you can't get the historic stuff, get what's in the private sector, get the private sector data like FAA data, correlate it, investigate all the other things that are current.
So, Senator Gillibrand said, look, if you can't get the Pentagon to provide you with historical data, get what you can out of the private sector and correlate it. Now, here's the critical part.
They're taking it seriously. They're not going to hide it because there's so many of us now on the Intel Committee and Armed Services that we're going to stand by the service members who documented this stuff. They have video, they have radar, they have heat sensors, they have everything.
Materials.
They have it.
Our military men and women are encountering UAPs on a near daily basis. They are harassing our carrier battle groups. Naval aviators are having near misses with the vehicles flying around in their training ranges. And guess what? They are constantly recorded on radar, video, infrared, and space-based sensors. So guess who is being shown all of this data? The lawmakers in Congress and their staff. Now, you have professional debunkers like Mick West who claim that young congressional staffers have been the ones wooed into this and have talked their bosses into pushing all of this. But, well, Mick, I can tell you in my conversations with officials on Capitol Hill that members of Congress have seen the classified data. They are not seeing fuzzy photos or things of balloons or whatever. So your counter-argument holds about as much water as chemtrails, to be honest. So The bottom line is that Congress knows the Pentagon has been ignoring this, putting the lives of our servicemen and women at risk. And here's my final point. The Pentagon, in particular the Air Force, has done a lot of lying, deception, and destroying of lives over the past 70 years to keep a lid on this whole thing. People have lost their lives over this. The Pentagon wants you to think that this is all new, that all of a sudden, boom, wow, what's this UAP thing going on? But it's not. They don't want you to know all of the un-American and illegal things they have been up to for the past 70 years. They do not, at all costs, want to rewind the clock because if they do, it will create a legal firestorm for them, the likes they have never seen.